Welcome back, everybody. Sport Federation TV. We keep talking about sport in the Western Cape, and of course, as you know, we've spoken about golf on a number of occasions, and women's golf doing particularly well in Cape Town and Western Cape, across South Africa. And in fact, and back on the show with us is the president of Women's Golf South Africa, Sarah Braude. Sarah, welcome back. Fantastic event last week.
Yes, thank you, JP. It was the 60th playing of the South African Women's Interprovincial Championship, which brings together teams from across the country. So really exciting. Obviously played in terms of our COVID-19 risk mitigation protocols. Yeah. But great just to see everybody tee up in a team environment. Very exciting.
Does that mean when you say 60th event, are we talking about 60 years of interprovincials?
That's correct. The 60th playing, it should have been in 2020, but obviously we postponed or cancelled the event. So quite a milestone in the history of women's golf.
And so when we're talking about interprovincials, we're talking about the other provinces coming down to the same event to compete.
That's correct. Drawn from across the country, and the players received their provincial colours. And this year we in fact had 30 rookies playing in their first interprovincial, which was really exciting and just talks to the strength of the development program. We had 7 girls who were 14 years old. And this is a marathon. You know, interprovincials, as it says, you play against competitors in a team environment, but it is 9 rounds of golf in a matter of 5 days. So endurance required, but very exciting, and it lived up to expectations. It was a thrilling final day round at Rondebosch on Friday last week.
When you say 9 rounds of golf, how do you play 9 rounds of golf in 5 days?
So we start with a practice round, an official practice round, and then they go into a seeding day where they play 36 holes. Those scores then seed them within the team divisions, and thereafter it's all match play, with foursomes match play in the morning and then singles match play in the afternoon, and it really comes down to the wire in many of the singles matches.
So this is, of course, the women's interprovincials. You've had a tremendous amount of success with women's golf. We've spoken about this on a number of occasions, and I think we can obviously never stop highlighting the success of women's golf and women's sport like this. So tell us a little bit about the Western Cape athletes. So how did we do?
So in the Western Cape, a number of teams, and the top overall winners in the A division were in fact from the Cape Town district, Western Province. And they actually did a double, because in the B division, their team also won, which was really a nod to their development program and the growth in women's golf coming through the system. But then also in the Central Karoo and Garden Route, which fielded a team, they won the A2 division. That's sometimes known as Southern Cape. And they were very successful. They were mentored by Sonia Bland, who has a long-standing career in RPTs. So that was really exciting. And then another coastal team. It was all coastals this year, which was really interesting. The team around the Nelson Mandela Bay, they won the B1 division, and in fact are going to be promoted next year into the A division.
So how does that work from an A division to a B division? Just give us that explanation.
Yes, without it being too confusing, yes. We have 8 teams in the A division, 8 teams in the B division. They then get seeded 1 to 8 within each division, and we then play a top half A1 and a lower half A2, where there are 4 teams in each section.
Is there a big difference in the competitiveness between the A division and the B division? Or are we talking, because I mean, when we talk about golf at this level, where you've got so many successful athletes coming through the ranks, quite often the margins are very small.
The margins are incredibly small, and that's why certainly in the singles matches they get very, very tight. But we have some of our top-ranked players in the B division. In the B division, the teams are only 4 players. Whereas in the A division, there are 6 players, but highly competitive. Obviously, every team wants to get promoted, and their efforts and their preparations are phenomenal around this event. But it's a star-studded field right across, be it A division or B division.
What's next now for the ladies? I mean, you've now had the interprovincials. Is it the SA champs? What comes next?
So next up is an age division based tournament, the South African Women's Mid-Amateur Championship. Not played in the Western Cape because we do try and move our tournaments across the country, but it will be in Mpumalanga, and it's always been a very well supported and highly contested championship. Vicky Trout, in fact, from the Cape Town district, who led the winning Western Province team at RPT, is in fact the defending champion. So she'll be traveling to Mpumalanga, no doubt, to defend her title. But so far, it's looking like it's going to be an exciting mid-amateur championship. It's for the women who are 30 and wiser, as I say. We also award a senior champion trophy, and highly competitive. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter the age, the competition is very high.
Sarah, I mean, I suppose one of the things that I'm wondering is, maybe slightly off the mark now, the weather has changed a bit. I mean, winter was particularly wet and harsh in Cape Town and Western Cape. We know that your players, they played right through. Is things a little bit easier now? It's a little bit drier, sun is shining a bit?
Well, that's an interesting one, because at the coast, sunshine also means a bit of wind.
Right.
So the coastal players really get the full experience, if I can put it that way, and need to have a full set of shots in their bag. In fact, just to add, there's the Ackerman Championship coming up this weekend within the Cape Town district, and that's going to be played also at Rondebosch. So it'd be interesting to see, with some sunshine and possibly some wind, how the players fare. And I must just say, on the last day of RPT, last week, Friday, we had all four seasons. And possibly in some of the photographs that you may be showing, you'll see the players dressed in their rain gear and fighting it out. And but that's the nature of an outdoor sport. We take it in our stride, and the players are very skilled, be it sunshine or rain or wind. And I give them a nod for their commitment to persevering. They never give up.
Do the players have support staff walking with them, caddies and that? Do they carry their own bags, their own trolleys?
Yes, certainly. When we were looking at the return to, or the reopening of golf, a key component of that was to see the caddies employed and back to work. So certainly at IPT, we were able to employ 80 local caddies, which is significant because there haven't been many professional events. The Sunshine Tour is obviously up and running now, but the caddies lost, when we were in lockdown, they lost on employment opportunities. So we were very pleased that Rondebosch could source 80 caddies and they could be part of that tournament. And certainly this weekend and in future events, caddies are brought in, depending on the field size, or players source their own caddies.
That's fantastic. Sarah, we're going to leave it at that. On a final note, one of the big events, I mean, we're obviously hoping to speak to you every week because we want to find out about all these events that are coming up. But just on a final note, we of course know that golf is next year hosting a World Championships at Milnerton Golf Course.
That's correct. Really exciting and something to look forward to. And also in the amateur space, just to mention, it's the World Amateur teams, both for the men and the women, the Espirito and the Eisenhower. So 2022 is going to be a significant year, and everyone's gearing up around that. And obviously, it goes without saying, all our protocols are in place. We have very, very strict risk mitigation protocols. But a nod to everybody and to compliment everybody for how they've embraced it. At RPTs and other tournaments, we do screening on a daily basis. But coming back to the athletes, they've had a tough time for 18 months, but it's fantastic to return to playing ranked events. And there's an exciting lineup for 2022, certainly something to work hard for.
That's fantastic. Sarah, you guys keep doing a great job. We're so proud of golf in South Africa, Western Cape, Cape Town, across the districts. We look forward to catching up again.
Thank you, JP, and thank you to all your viewers for following women's golf and golf in general. It's the most amazing sport, and with a lot of committed people around it. And if I may just compliment the athletes again, they've had a tough year, but they've stepped up to the plate, and the golf that they're playing is phenomenal. So thank you.
There we go, folks. Sarah Braude, the president of Women's Golf South Africa. And wow, again, as we said, every time we do this interview with Sarah, things just keep smiling, things keep getting better and better. So follow Women's Golf. Go to www.golfrsa.com and find out. And of course, our Western Cape athletes really making us proud in the province. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about sport in the Western Cape. Back in a sec.